Hey all, I've got 7 tips and tricks for new players I think you guys will really enjoy. I learned about a couple of these recently, and honestly, they make the game so much better and easier. If you guys have any other tips and tricks, though, leave them down in the comments below for me or for others. Let's jump right into it. First tip I have for you guys is you can actually cancel your reload, help save a little bit of time, and also it's a huge damage increase. I've been doing this now since I started the game, but didn't even realize it until the last couple days. So if you guys fire your weapon, you can see right below your reticle, you just see the full reload. You can actually cancel your reload and refill your mag at about 60% of the way through if you just press the fire button as you're reloading. So about 60% of the way through it's done, and you press your fire button, it'll work. Same thing can go for your dodge. So if I'm dodging about halfway through, about 60% of the way through, I can dodge, refill my mag. Same thing for other guns too. Most guns about 60% of the way through, but some guns might be a little bit longer, like this assault rifle here. If I reload, even if I'm pressing the fire button, it takes about 80 to 85% of the time before I can actually reload it, that cancel reload thing. But if I dodge instead, about half the way through, it'll count and reload my mag. So pretty cool. And honestly, like I said, it's big damage increase. This tip is actually insane. It is going to be so helpful when you're trying to unlock other Descendants or farming materials in the in-game. And just as you're leveling, it's so freaking good. So if you pull up your map, whatever that is for controller, for M&K, it's G. Pull up your map, go over here to access info. This is where you're going to see anywhere, any material you need, anything you need to unlock Descendants, weapons, enhancement materials, modules, anything like that. You can actually see where you need to get them from in here. So if we want to look at a specific weapon, let's say I want to make the last dagger, I can click on this, and I need these materials basically to make this. Oh shoot, I only need one more material. I need this research material. It's a rare material. If I press F or whatever that is on controller, you can press acquisition info, and then I can see these 2 spots of where I could do it. And actually, if I click on them or access them, it'll show me where it is on the map. So I can go to an outpost and go over to it, and I can even track this specific item for that. I could go over here and I can put tracking on, which is absolutely just so freaking handy. You can do this with anything. Like, you can do this with Descendants. Let's say I want to start farming for Valby. I can see here that I've got maybe a couple of these things here. Maybe I need murky energy residue. I could acquisition info. I could see everywhere where I can unlock it. And if you don't have something unlocked like hard mode, you can see that you don't have this unlocked yet, but you could get it later on. But again, I could click on it and it would show me where, and you could track this. Super helpful. I've got a couple module tips for you guys since they're super important in First Descendant, and one I just found out about yesterday, but it's freaking awesome. If you go down here, if you go pull up your inventory, go to Descendant module over here, you'll see a couple of these module slots here that have two symbols. One's like a ninja star, and then one's like an M, I guess you could say. If you match one of these modules down here with this symbol, it actually reduces the cost by 50%. So this one costs 6 normally. If I put it in this slot, it only costs 3. Same thing for this M-looking symbol, Nimble Fingers. I put it there, it costs 3. This is fantastic. So even if you upgrade these modules, which I'll cover in just a second, the cost will still be halved, which is fantastic. It's great for not taking over your module capacity when you're trying to go for a specific build, or you need some more survival or more damage. The other module tip I have for you guys is to upgrade your modules as you're playing throughout the game. It's not that expensive, and they help you out a ton. There's gonna be certain modules that are just so important, really help you survive, or even just do more damage to your abilities. So it's great to have. In Albion here, if you come over here to the left, you'll see Cillian, the module master. The instructor should guide you over here if you've been talking to him, but if not, he's over here. You want to talk to him again as much as you can. You can dismantle modules, combine modules, so keep an eye out for that, but I wouldn't worry about those two. The biggest one here as you're going through this game is enhance module. You can enhance anything that you have on, so I don't have anything on for Bunny right now specifically, but I can look at all the modules I have. If I wanted to look up something specific, I can sort by whatever I wanted to. And then weapons, you can see here that I've already upgraded this a couple of times. So let's go to Hawkeye. Let's say I wanted to upgrade this. You can see the original has plus 11% accuracy. If I enhance this, it does 12.6% accuracy, right? Capacity cost, and this is how much it costs. It costs this much gold and Cooper shards, which you get a ton of throughout as you're playing throughout the game, and gold. I haven't been farming at all. Really, and I have so much, right? And if you want to do more than one upgrade at once, you could click on this a few times and you could see how much of an increase this is. This is super important. So if you have certain ones that, or you need poison priority, you need more toxic damage if you wanted to. Let's say you wanted to increase your rifling reinforcement, which is super important. It just increases your firearm attack, which is pretty freaking awesome. Let's say I could upgrade this. Let's say I'll enhance this by 7. If I had a weapon with it on, it would actually remove it because it's taking up a module space, so I'd have to re-equip it. But it's definitely worth doing, guys. I would highly recommend doing this as you're playing throughout the game. As you can see here, the cost went up, but again, it's worth it. This is probably going to be the most important tip I have for you guys, at least in my opinion. It has to avoid intercept battles, these boss battles. So if you guys are brand new to the game, you guys don't know what these are boss battles that you are going to have to complete. But basically, once you finish the zone, you're going to have to fight a boss. and intercept that boss and defeat it before you can move on to the story. This is how you get to new zones, level up, get better gear, all that stuff. So they're crazy important. I can't tell you how many times I've gone into these and nobody knows really what they're doing, what they're supposed to have. They have bad toolkits, and it takes way longer than it should. It's crazy. And I'm not saying I'm not guilty of this. I definitely was. Dead Bride was probably the first one that I really struggled with, and then Devour was not too bad. It was annoying, but not too bad. And Pyromaniac was crazy. So let's go into one of these, for instance, and I want to highlight a couple things. Right here, you can see attack attribute, what it's going to be, attribute resistance, and recommended attribute resistance. These are super important, guys. So over here on attribute resistance, this says that it has resistance to fire damage. Pyro is very strong, so you're not going to do nearly as much damage as you would with something that with ice or chill damage. You can see that it's weak against chill damage, so bringing a Descendant that has chill damage is going to be super important. Having mods or upgrade modules on your weapons that add chill modifier or anything like that is going to be crazy, crazy, crazy important. And this works for every single one, like Dead Bride. This is very weak against Pyro, so having Pyro will be super important. Make sure you bring Pyro, maybe a Descendant for that if you're struggling with it, or add those modifiers to your gun. It's super important. And then right over here, recommended attribute resistance. Guys, this is so unbelievably important. If you are struggling with one of these fights, for instance, this one, Pyromaniac, I was kind of struggling with here. Recommended attribute resistance, get to this attribute resistance. You take way, way, way less damage if you are at this this threshold here. So I'm going to tell you how real quick. I already told you how to upgrade modules. So if you go down here to Descendant modules, you get these antibodies that are for different damage types basically throughout the game. I have an electric antibody. I have a polygenic, which is all of them, which I actually really like. Heat antibody. You can see here that I upgraded this enough where it does cost 13 module capacity, but I have 2600 fire resistance. So for that specific Void Intercept battle, it's going to be so much easier for me to do. I'm going to survive so much. I'm not going to get knocked every 5 seconds because of the abilities. And this works for every single one of them. One other thing I want to highlight here that people don't pay attention to, destructible parts. These are things that you can remove. You'll be doing more damage and stuff like that. Removable parts are things that once you break, if they have a cover or something like that, you can hop onto, you can break, hold onto, and break that stuff, and you can even stun the boss. It's super important. And then this one right here, destructible parts and frenzied. Each boss kind of has like a little ultimate mode or frenzied mode, and it's that little pinkish bar below their health bar in the boss battle. This is where you're going to need to basically shoot or do damage during those modes. So keep an eye out for that, and just come prepared when you're in these boss battles. Help out your team, and don't make it more difficult on yourself. Seriously, trust me. Another tip I have for you guys, it may seem like a small one, but I'm telling you it's going to add up over time. It's going to save you so much time. I'm telling you, do this every time you come back to Albion. So once you're in Albion here, there's a Naeus over here in the left. Again, you'll be guided over to her at some point. This is basically how you're going to research materials, Descendants, all that stuff. You guys probably know what it is. But my tip is basically, when you do research, obviously it's good to do these whenever you can. But instead of some of these materials you're going to need for later on, some of them you'll need to upgrade your your ultimate weapons. This is in Destiny. Your ultimate weapons like precision phase exchangers, you're going to need to do this. And obviously they cost a little bit of materials here and some gold, but honestly they're not that bad. But this is how you're going to research like different Descendants, weapons, Descendant materials, all that jazz, right? So what I would recommend doing every time you come back to Albion, just put something in here to research. Phase exchanger, so you can upgrade regular weapons, put it in here. It literally takes 10 minutes for me to do this. And as you can see, I can't select it again. It's not like I can queue these phase exchangers back to back to back. This is ×4. I could do this one if I wanted to. I could do that one, but now it's gone again. So I have to wait 2.5 minutes for this one, 10 minutes for this one. So instead of like when you hit max level, or when you go to in-game and you need all these materials and you have to do it all at once and you got to wait for 2 hours because of how they've implemented this stuff, which I don't love that much. Just do this every time you come. I need a precision phase exchanger. I'm going to do it right now. So I have 10 minutes till that gets done. I'm just doing this every time I come back to Albion. I just got this ultimate weapon. I researched this earlier. It took I think 2 or 3 hours, which is insane. Don't even get me started on some of the Descendants. But this is important to do. So just a quick tip. Every time you come to Albion, do some research for some stuff that you may need in the future. Last tip I have for you guys, and I already mentioned this in my last video, but if you missed it, fastest way to level in this game, to level Descendants, weapons, mastery, is 100% the Special Operations Terminal. If you go inside here in Albion, it's right over here to the left. Go to this. Pull this up. I explained a little bit more in detail in my last video, so feel free to go check that out. But there's basically these horde modes you can go to in these new zones once you complete all the missions. You'll do these, you'll complete the waves, and they'll get harder as you progressively go up. You'll get more rewards, but you get so much XP. It's an incredible amount. I hope they never nerf this. This is a great way to level up if you're struggling, or if you're behind, or if you just want to level a new Descendant. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, if you have any other tips or tricks for other new players or for me, leave them down in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks for all the support on the channel lately. I really appreciate it. I'll catch you in the next one.